Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday. End of the month. Not end of the quarter yet, but end of the month. So every end of the month as a futures trader, you're always watching settlements. Things can happen. Weird things can happen at the end of the month. People need to get stuff done. Although August, notoriously kind of a wonky, slower month, nobody really gives a shit. Everybody's just enjoying their summers, getting bitten by mosquitoes, drinking Coors Lights. Dude, I had a beer yesterday and it was good. Let me tell you, it was good. I don't really drink anymore, but every once in a while I throw down a Negroni, I throw down a beer, and I enjoy my life because as dialed as I like to be or try to like to be, I also like hoofing a pizza every once in a while. Every once in a while you gotta punish yourself with some amazing stuff. Jabes, they want you to short oil again. Ha ha ha! Don't worry. Yeah, I get caught out of my oil position once I saw that headline the other day. I was like, get out. But we'll see. We'll go look at the chart and see where we could set that position up again because you ain't gonna get me catching like a log oil position. All right. Luckily, I was on so I got short oil, reshort oil Friday, and then once that headline came yesterday, where I believe there was like an attack on a U.S. base, blah blah blah, oil started ripping. I was like, all right, I'll get out again and reassess. I got onto my website of choice. Got out of the position at still up. I was up like 1%. I couldn't believe it. I thought I'd be down like 10 or 15% on the perp. But I wasn't. Got out and now I'm reassessing. So we'll take a look at the oil chart and see where the next beautiful time to short is. And it's funny because I know there's a bunch of people out there who love the story of oil to like $200 or whatever. Yeah, I'll go ahead and pass on that one. I will go ahead and pass on an oil to $200 move. Okay. I think oil's just going to dump to $50 at some point. Nobody's going to talk about it anymore, and we'll move on. We'll move on from there. So let's see. The on-chain vibes over the weekend were pretty good. We had a lot of weird dynamics happening on the Robinhood chain with tokenized stocks. We'll talk a little bit about that. Let's go check out the calendar real quick. So this week, Monday, nothing really. PMI, ISM manufacturing to start off the month tomorrow. Then we got Beige Book, ISM services Thursday, and non-farm payrolls Friday, which people still care about. Still a market moving event. And let's see what markets are doing. They're slightly down on the morning. My inclination is that today is kind of like weak, maybe finish the day down, whatever. And then I think we just start to rip into September. I think everybody locks back in. They put their risk back on the table, and it's on like Donkey Kong. But I'm willing to live and die by the sword. We will see. Last week we finished with a devastating metals move. I mean, we might as well jump over into charts a little bit right now. Bitcoin is still consolidating up at this kind of 78 to 80 range. Pretty solid for there, honestly. I wouldn't be surprised to see it kind of shake off a little bit more today and then start going tomorrow, getting some risk back on the table. But yeah, like we've said, if you do tune in every day, you notice how I operate now. I kind of come in, I kind of process it all, keep the story going. That way I'm always like I'm kind of always aware of like what's been happening, what I think is currently happening, where I think things are going, and always just adjusting and iterating along the way. You know what I'm saying? And nothing to my story of stocks has changed for the moment. In fact, the longer we spend up here without the bears being able to kind of take it down, I just get more bulled up, honestly. everywhere. I mean, even small caps with rates being so high and all the hawkish have been holding up near highs. It's pretty crazy. VIX has come off a little bit, but not much. I mean, we're still down in a historically pretty low environment here. I was just talking to my buddy about how like 2013 to 2017, the VIX was down at like 10 to 12. That felt normal. Now, 14 to 16 feels like what 10 to 12 felt like. So we're definitely like a higher VIX regime. There's more movement, but it kind of makes sense given the time, the fluidity of money, the speed at which everything is increased. That's not shocking to me. By the way, if you guys are out there and you want to throw into the comments kind of what you're looking at, what you've been bidding, are you risk on, are you risk off, how are you feeling going into the fall? And if you don't mind, please, again, as per usual, if you're watching this on YouTube, just drop a comment or something. Just be like, what up? Hit a like, hit a sub. If you're on X, if you could repost this, that would be super helpful for me. I just want to be able to get people on X showing up every day to trade together, to get better together, and to crush it. I think some big stuff's coming in the next 3 to 6 months. I'm super ready for it. I feel dialed. I got a haircut. So it's time. The vol of vol is pretty low. So, you know, you could argue that the upside is a little bit more limited, but I don't know. I just think we have so much more potential melt up room, even with a VIX. VIX, just because it's low, does not mean it can't stay low for quite a long time. Bond volatility, that will be the one that's interesting. And I would be interested to see if bond vol could go up with bonds actually kind of like short squeezing or something for a little bit. Because I'm not necessarily bullish bonds, but I could easily see bonds kind of bidding for a little bit or something in some weird kind of positioning washout or whatever. So that's something I'm keeping an eye on. Bitcoin and Ethereum obviously are looking pretty good. You know, this is something I've noticed in crypto happens so much, and I feel like I haven't adjusted as well to it because like I get a little antsy and trigger happy is like this move where it bounces off support. And this could be in an uptrend or a downtrend, but it bounces off support enough times, and then you have a false break recovery, right? Like when you see this, all right, so you had bounce here, effectively a bounce here, a little breach here, bounce here. And then you have this massive break, but then a recovery and back into the range. Like to me, this is just so bullish. And it's like, I almost think buying like here is just like, it's got to be one of the best buys in crypto, honestly. Or I guess any market, but it happens in crypto so much. Like that's actually what I was waiting for in Bitcoin to happen. I was thinking it kind of, I guess it supposedly did a little bit, but not really. I was expecting us to see this kind of here, and then like the end of it would have been like this false break, snap back, and then go. That's what I was expecting. I think a lot of people were expecting that. Maybe that's why it didn't happen. Maybe there's too much time of consolidation and like whatever. Maybe there just weren't enough sellers. There wasn't enough like leverage to get knocked out. But we just see that all the time as like this capitulatory move, that one last death blow, like the FTX or whatever it was back in the day, right? But that's just an interesting trade that I wonder if I could set up a better process around for myself, right? Especially in like alts or something. Like if you have a bunch of strong alts and they have that kind of move happen. Let me see if I could find any other examples of that in crypto. Maybe you could argue that for Sol. I mean, this thing dropped from 80 down to 58 in mid-June. Broke that trend. Recovery back up above it. I mean, again, a lot of charts are going to look somewhat similar, but like that's a good example, I think, of like, here it is, this spot right here. If you're just like waiting for that, loading the boat. Link. Chainlink, another good looking one. MSTR. I mean, MSTR is still like okay. So let me touch on MSTR quick. I'll show you. I bookmarked what they did last week. A lot of people thought this wasn't possible, but they basically told us. I mean, I had some people commenting on it on my post. I was like, yesterday they said we're back on his post, right? And I was like, oh, that means they're buying Bitcoin. They bought Bitcoin last week. Clearly, a lot of people are like, no, definitely not. They still need to get stretched back. Like, no, dude, they're not. They don't need stretch to buy Bitcoin. They could do what they've done always, which is issue stock, whatever. They bought 4,600 Bitcoin this past week and bought back stretch. And their treasury is now 6.7 billion. So their net leverage is essentially zero. I mean, strategy's just not dying, guys. Luis Garcia, what's up? Enjoying the live streams for a while. Keep them going. Thanks, man. I do really appreciate that. I will keep them going. Can you tell me, like, what is it about? Do you like the chill vibe? Because I know there's a lot of people out there that stream every morning and they're bringing more news and, like, you know, the big... And I want to touch on what people are talking about, but I also want to focus more on, like, I don't want to be a news show. You know what I mean? I want to touch on the news that, like, is important to you and give you my takes on it and all that. But I don't want to be a news show, if that makes sense. So, yeah. So Strategy acquired a fuck ton of Bitcoin. I just think, like, they just keep doing the right things. Now, their execution is awful, right? They keep buying at the worst things. They're basically slippage all around in their execution. And I really wish what they would do is pay some hedge fund legend or somebody with a strong, solid executor, a bit, like, pay them $10 million a year or whatever to come and just execute this better, because they're just, like, so bad at executing. And they say, like, it doesn't matter in the end, it's going up so much, like, you won't really care. It does matter. Like, you keep diluting maybe quite a bit more than you have to, and these strategy, like, on the margin, you're losing strategy holders and people who are bought in one at a time. You're losing them. You have Strive right off the back of you, like, nipping at your toe, not nipping at your toes from, like, a Bitcoin side of things, but, like, on a hey, maybe I should just go with these guys who have no debt on their balance sheet, a higher yield, daily dividend with tax benefits. Like, I don't know, man. It just seems like they're so bad at allocating. They just think that the sheer volume and weight of that will win in the end, you know? So anyway, strategy. Going back to this. Very Bad Boo. Miss you, James. Who is Very Bad Boo? Very Bad Boo. Don't know. So we had this, kind of capitulatory move here, and then a trend sideways under $100, and now we've just reclaimed this trend. Like, again, I think this is the spot where it's like, this is kind of the spot that we're talking about. Look at this right here. Right? Like, if you just start bidding in here, like developing a position here, breaking above this is like the 200 week. Let's go look at the day. Sitting right at the 200 day. Like, I could see this being in a really great spot. Just like, nobody thinks buying strategy is, like, a smart idea, right? But if they can, I think I have the strategy IBIT chart here. Like, this chart right here, I think is super important. If this chart falls, right? I guess you could flip this around. Let's do MSTR IBIT just to make it, or let me just invert it for you. All right, like, if this chart goes up, I think that you're fine. You're safe, right? It's going to show you that MSTR is outperforming IBIT. But if they lose the ability to say that they're outperforming IBIT, like if they're effectively not beta to Bitcoin, they're going to lose the whole plot. So I think this is a super important point here. that you don't ever want to, as an MSTR holder or a treasury company holder in general, you just don't want to see ever hit that. Strive is a smart firm, Vivek. Yeah, I don't think Vivek has anything to do with them now. Maybe his name's attached to it and he owns a little bit, but like, I don't think he's doing literally anything in there. He's got other things going on in Ohio, kissing babies, shaking hands. I care more about what Matt Cole is doing, Jeff Walton, Ben Workman. Are you in October IBIT call options? Probably the safest play other than trading perps. Why? How is an October IBIT call safe? That's what I would like to know. And that's interesting that you say that. But here you go. Let me reinvert this. This is the chart we were looking at last week, and I just think this is going to continue to climb. So you have Strive, MSTR ratio. We've cleared this hurdle, and I just think now, like, you're clear for takeoff. I think if MSTR does well, Strive's just going to do better, unless they experience some sort of issue, which I don't really see why they would, as their product is just constantly sitting at their benchmark to issue. Stretch still has $3 to go. I mean, they can't even issue Stretch right now. Just saying smart dudes. Yeah, there's a lot of smart people though. I don't know. That's the thing, man. Like the whole like smart people thing, man. Like, I don't know. I think you gotta be, it's like either you're the best of the best or you gotta be left curve. Anywhere in the middle, you're just getting fucked. You're just getting a train run on you. Perps are not safe either. They chase your stops. Who's they? And why are perps not safe? What's up, Massey? Jay Soul, you're coming out hot today, man. I don't know. I don't know about these takes. Let's get back up here and check out metals. All right, so gold has dipped down into this range. We talked about this drawing we made. Question is, can we regain a little bit of composure here and work our way back out? Get back in a bullish stance? Yeah, could be. We also talked about the other option where it could easily keep going down, right? You could get people questioning the gold thesis quite a bit. So letting that play out as we get into the first few days of the month. The trade, shout out to Bonnie Blue. Bonnie. That's funny. So yeah, gold, silver, we'll see. Both having pullbacks here. I don't think the story has changed too much. I still like it, but you got to be super careful. Super volatile right now. I mean, like I was trading gold Friday. Things were going well. Then I gave most of it back, and I said, "All right, like, well, let's just let this thing shake out the way it's gonna shake out. Let the game come to you." Right now, forcing anything doesn't seem healthy. Dollar's still stuck in the range here. I still think it's going lower. I think we're experiencing these retests that, we've discussed. I think Bitcoin's the one that's been really strong. But, gold, silver, copper hasn't broken out yet. Where's copper? Right? Still threatening it. Still hasn't gone, right? We have our price alerts. We're ready. The gun is cocked back and we're ready to fire. But for now, we wait. For now, we wait. All right, bond yields are, where are they? Bond yields kind of up a little bit on the long end. Nothing much going on there. I know the G20 meeting is today too. You got Warsh and Besson out there as per usual. Oil up 2.5% of the day. Again, we've drawn this. You guys are used to seeing these charts by now, I hope. And you can see how I could continue this. If we get above 80, I could see, this is where I don't mind actually reestablishing a position, which I probably will after stream, is that like my risk reward here is like pretty well defined. We had this pretty big spike up because of this re-escalation or whatever. But we also had this news about Venezuelan oil reserves establishing our own. So you could say, hey, I want to get short oil and use enough leverage up to the point where my stop out would be like $88 and everything below that is Gucci, you know? In fact, let me it's too spicy. I might have to do this now. So we're doing some work now. I can't help myself. A nice little oil short when it makes sense. Come on. Come on. So I think the risk reward is getting better and better. I don't mind taking another shot here. I've done well enough in oil to where I'm just going to keep sticking to my plan. And the downside news catalyst and alleviation can be pretty strong. I think we could easily get back into the 70s, low 70s. So I think I'm going to do that. Give me a second here. I remember when I believed in Santa Claus. Yeah, get him, guys. You get him out there. That's funny. All right. We are short oil. We are short oil. Now, you guys will know that if it goes above $88, just assume that I am out of that trade. It's at 85 right now. And again, if I get on sides here and there's more catalysts that come in my favor, I will add to the position. But for now, I've established just a core and we'll go from there. We could always see another move up. Definitely possible. Like, it's been trending up, so like you are fighting that, but I don't hate it. All right. We're out here making moves, bros. Also, I got a little spicy over the weekend and added to my Pepe, Farcoin a little bit. Some of those things. Now, it's hard to do because there could always be a sizable pullback, and they've already had them. I'll go show you. Well, first of all, let me go look at let's go look at what I'm currently in right now. Okay, so gold I've been trading. Like for the scalps, it doesn't mean I'm currently like actually in a scalp at the moment, but like these are what I've been mainly trading. So gold, live cattle, wheat. I still am in a wheat position long. It has pulled back, so that one's just kind of chilling. It's a very small position. Nat gas, I'm still not in something, but I've been watching it a lot, especially the calendars. And I'm currently in a long RB calendar position, which is like a gasoline. That's a super fun product to trade. And again, guys, like hopefully in a month or two, I'll be able to show you like these exact trades on screen in real time. That'll be cool. But we're working that out still on the back end. So my swings, I'll run through them a little bit. My Pepe, Farcoin, and Doge. I've added to them. They have had pullbacks. Okay, so let's go look at those quick. Pepe. All right, look at this. Large move off the lows. We were buying down here. Okay. At this point, I was up about, if we're being honest, 300%. Pretty good. 300% on some size. And I was like, all right, this is interesting. Like, what do I do? All right, so as a guy who generally takes winners somewhat quickly, this was a rare spot where I thought a lot of the stars were aligning. We've kind of talked through this, but this idea that crypto is going to have a broad push, Bitcoin is going to make another move, Ethereum will outperform Bitcoin. And since Ethereum would outperform Bitcoin, that is going to slingshot a lot of ETH money into, people that don't own ETH are going to want exposure to it. And one of the best ways to get exposure to ETH is sometimes a couple of memes that are highly liquid and highly available, Pepe being one of them. I think that was playing out as Ethereum was running. However, we've had a little bit of a cool off, a consolidation, and of course, memes could take the brunt of that to the face. Now, I didn't want to adjust my position because if it kept going, like I want this to be an epic trade. This is one of those ones where I'm like, I want this to be an epic trade, so I'm willing to die with it. I'm not willing to die with a lot of other trades, but there are a couple where I'm like, okay, I really like the thesis here. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. So if we get back and we breach this kind of lower move here, like I'm wrong, right? And I'll take a loser overall because I've added to the position now as it pulled back, right? But if this works out, I mean, we're right on the 200-day moving average now. Retesting 200-day moving average. Bitcoin looks somewhat strong. If we get into the new month and risk goes on, like I really like this position. And, if we get back above here, I'll have even a larger position and we could go from there. And we'll figure it out in real time. And I'll live and die by that. Same thing with the others. Farcoin. This was looking great. Was building the position around here. Looked great. Blah, blah, blah. Big pullback. You had some people get liquidated too. That were really heavy on this. And Dogecoin. Same thing. Big move. Buying down here. Huge pullback. All right, so we're on sides. It's not great, right? But it looks okay. It looks okay. So I'm still sitting there, still on sides, still comfortable. And the trade is still the trade. And we're going to see how it plays out. All right, XPL. This has been one of the most frustrating trades of all. I really love the product. I use the product all the time. It's effectively a neobank. If you don't know much about that, like just think of it as like a digital dollar in your pocket. I use it to buy a lot of shit day to day. Whatever. One of the worst performing coins, but like from a chart perspective, and like if you don't know much about the narrative and who's involved and how much it's gotten, like there's a lot of pent up, there's a pent up massive move in that, and it's like hard for me not to want to grab that. But arguably it's been a bad allocation of capital. Airdrome, again, I think this is an amazing one. Coinbase and Base get popping. This chart looks good too. So this, you can see that these are all like, we talked about this idea of like breakout, retest, will it then go? Breakout, retest, will it go? Right? A lot of it is just dependent on that. What were the other ones here? So XPL, Farcoid, Arrow, Eli Lilly, Copper, and Uranium all still look fine to me. Let's go Lilly. Chill it up here. I guess it's down a little bit today. So not super great, but like, I don't know. As long as like Lily's chilling up here, I just don't really want, I mean, my position's kind of whatever size. It's nothing crazy. I think this thing's going to go moon. If we breach, question is, where would I get out? I think if we breach, yeah, like 1,090, I would just be done with it until we like go make another push. For now, I'm okay with it. But if we breach there, I think I would be, I would be like, okay, whatever. You got me. Okay. So copper, as we've looked at before, I think I want to have a position now just in case I miss it. But I have price alerts ready to add to this position. If it gets going, you get on sides here, unlimited runway for copper. And then uranium, again, we were buying at great places. Where are you at? Buying down near the red, pullback, whatever. Again, you're going to experience these pullbacks, right? They get a little queasy, but we're still on sides quite a bit, and we're just gonna let it run. So this is why swings are hard, man. This is why I'm not great at swing trading. Like, you're just having these epic run ups and run downs, and like you have to re-question your thesis over and over. And that's fine. It's just like not my favorite. I prefer just scalping in the day or just long-term forget about it. You know? Long-term stuff, I have IBIT calls. I own Strike. We've talked about Strike before. You could go to previous streams where I break that down. Galaxy is one of my favorite positions that I still think has so much upside potential, like massive upside potential. Iron has been trading like trash too, but I'm kind of just in this one for the long haul. I just think it's gonna be a money printer, honestly. Oracle, I still have long dated leaps. Qualcomm, long dated leaps. Strive, I had established a position a week ago or so as the shortage just was huge. Their balance sheet was clear. They were churning out Bitcoin. Circle, I like as just my stablecoin play. That's pretty much where my money's allocated. And then I have like a real estate tranche that is outside of markets. Again, JSOL, don't agree. Don't agree. Me and you are on opposite sides of the fence today, my man. Doesn't have to be one or the other, man. Doesn't have to be one or the other. Robinhood could easily go through a period of time where it's uninteresting. Right now, obviously, it looks that way, but if you've been around the block long enough, things come and go. If you're asking me what my favorite FOMO token is, I don't know. Honestly, it's MicroDuck. I think MicroDuck's really funny, but I'm out of that position now. I'm waiting for it to hit a high to go on its next run. Right now, I'm a little risk off on FOMO. I think things are cooling off a little bit, and I'm waiting for the next like obvious momentum to the upside, but it's coming back already a little bit. I like Redacted because Zcash is fun, and it drops Zcash right into your thing, but I think Zcash needs to go on if Zcash goes up, you know, breaks 900, heads to 1,000, I think Redacted's going to do pretty well. But I think overall, yeah, GG. Golden Goose is the greatest thing ever. Let me pull up this thing here. Golden Goose. I think I'm up like 200% or something on there overall. But just such a fun token. Pretty organic. If you guys don't know what it is a token that is attached to the GLD. It's like paired with the GLD stock. So as you hold the token, you get airdrop GLD stock. So it's like, if you know, it's dropping you golden eggs over time, which is just a hilarious It's just hilarious. Up is a little bit more of an infrastructure play on a liquidity pools. They seem to be printing a ton of money. Nobody really understands. I didn't even know what they were. I bought here yesterday and it looks like it's starting to do really well. You can't trust this market cap because it has to do with like the real market cap is like, I think it's more like, I don't know, 10 to 15 million or 15 million or something like that. This is just like a fully diluted thing, but a lot of their stuff is burned and a lot of it's locked up in staking for yield and stuff like that. So I think you need to kind of understand that. I watched some stuff on it yesterday and I was like, oh, this is severely undervalued. Like they're making more money than pawns, which is pretty crazy. So it'll be interesting to see if any of the big boys come in here and make like big purchases to make that more obvious. But for now, I'm on sides. I'm going to hold it. Looks good. WMAS, yeah, look at it. Small cap names. Smith and Wessel. Ooh. Smith and Wessel. Pew, 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 pew. It's a VCX. VCX, what is that? Fundrise Innovation Fund. What is it, though? Is this like a Bitcoin thing? What is this? Oh, it's just like a fund you can invest in that invests in growing tech companies. Sounds boring. Boring. See if we can't get a little pullback in wheat here and then the next launch pad. Let's see. Yeah, I can see that. Zcom81, I own egg. It's so funny. Like, I own so much random shit. I own egg. Yeah, I like it. I am aware of that. I own, random stuff. Like I own Pfeffer from the Tether chain. I own Anita and iCat from the Ink chain. Like, I own a lot of those random kind of like chain leaders, but those have all, like, if I look back, I'm like, these were kind of a waste. You're betting on those ecosystems really running, but they never proved that they were running. You know what I mean? Like Robinhood has proved they're running. It's very obvious. The other ones are like they're like very hopeful, and even with Hyper EVM, like this, people say like, oh, friction is good. The fact that people can't get the money over there means you're early. And I'm like, well, friction's good maybe if in these rare circumstances where it becomes easy for people to get money onto these different platforms. But like, I don't see that now. Now that I've used FOMO and Robinhood Chain, all that, I'm like, you just want no friction. Just be better than other people and just have no friction, I think that's kind of more the dream. So wheat and corn I still really like, honestly. Like these guys, if you're not thinking about ags, you might want to think about them. I know it sounds crazy. But like if you're not thinking about ags, you might want to think about them. Even soybeans is looking really spicy. It's all fun and games until you're looking up soybean ETFs or whatever, Oof, nat gas here. Like, this is a super spicy area. 200 week moving average. Trending. There was like all this talk about natural gas needed for turbine, whatever, with Elon. I don't know. I don't know much about that. I'm really watching nat gas closely though. When those futures pop, they rip. They absolutely rip. Japanese yields continuing to march higher. The yen carry trade continues. We talked about Tesla versus SpaceX. I like Tesla a lot more for now. I think SpaceX just chills for a long time. Tesla, like robotaxis, are starting to take over Texas. They're becoming more memed. That's a huge business just on its own, man. Tesla just really looks like a good spot, honestly. It trades so weird though. Tesla is like such a difficult trade. Robinhood still looks great. If Robinhood breaks, man, I want to be aggressive there. I want to be playing that. As we said, like we've been talking about Lighter, right? Lighter was beautiful break. This is exactly what we were looking for in Lighter. Just holding that position. Oh, I should put that as like one of my long-term spots. I mean, what a chart. What a chart. I haven't looked at Ripple in a while. Looks good. Oh, interesting spot here. I want to see if we break. If we could break, get this. This would be another like really good sign for IBIT just outperforming the SPX. If this could break this channel here and get going. God, this is one of those spots where I thought it would be like bounce, 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 and then recapture and go. But we haven't seen that. I see a lot of cybercabs in Dallas, especially over last. Yeah, Dallas is like the starter. I've been talking to some people about this idea of like running a cybercab fleet. You can get them for $30K a pop. Get together some people, buy like 20 or 30 cars, rent out a business parking lot that is empty because so many business parks have just empty space. They'd probably love to rent you some parking spots for 2 years or something. Get some of the conduction pads and then put it like on the cusp of like 20 minutes, 30 minutes from an airport. And then just run the fleet. Hire a college kid or whatever to clean all the cars a few hours a day and just run them. And run everything from your app. Undercut the Ubers. I think for a while it'll be an insane arbitrage opportunity. And if you do it well, I think you can pay back your fleet within 2 years. And then you have a bunch of years of just free rolling your fleet. You know? There's some setup involved, right? And there's regulatory stuff you got to get over. Each state has to like allow it. I know Texas is obviously the first kind of driving that, but like like where I live in California, in San Diego, it's like so perfect for these things. I mean, I don't want to drive 30 minutes with a random Uber driver. I just want this thing to pick me up and bring me safely. When Bitcoin 300K? Good question. Good question. I don't know. So ETH BTC, again, this looks fine. This is kind of the whole idea here. We've talked about the soul chart. So yeah, we've got through pretty much everything chart-wise here today. And we'll see how it progresses more. I recorded a video, by the way, that gotta show you quickly show you my video process here. Hold on a second. So what I usually do is I will come up with a video idea and I'll talk through the entire idea with, like, I'll just spew it out onto a note, like an iPhone note, you know? Then I'll take it over to AI and I'll be like, here's my whole idea. Here's what I want to do. I need help flowing it through with like a story arc. You know, I need to order this up the right way, blah, blah, blah. I have that help me do that. Then I take it over to Google Docs and I just like rewrite the whole thing, you know, in my own voice, make sure that all of my original thoughts are still there. And I just chunk it out and then I go record it. I edit it and I get it up there. And probably the whole process probably takes me from idea to publish on YouTube, probably 4 hours, 3-4 hours or so. But I got one coming out. I'll have it up later today. I'm gonna finish editing when I'm done streaming, get this out. But it's basically gonna say like unless you are like this as a person, you should stay away from trading. So a lot of you would probably be like, no, that is me. That's why I want to trade. But there's a lot of people out there who want to get into trading like for the wrong reasons. And they're only going to dig themselves a worse hole. You know, they're only going to make their life situation harder. Oh, I think it'll help me earn some supplemental income to help me pay rent next month. No. If you need rent next month, you're fucked, buddy. You're fuck-filled. Fucks-filled. You know what I mean? Like, if you need something out of trading, ironically, you won't get it. The people who don't need anything end up being the ones who get it all. Funny how that works, huh? Funny how that works. By the way, I set it up, guys, to where I'm still hoping it happens like on stream. But basically, I have it now. You see how my theme for the stream is like red, right? It's like a dark red, crimson, or whatever you want to call that. If we flip green on the day in ES or S&P, it should all turn to green. I could go back and forth. So we're hoping. I'm hoping it flip. I haven't actually even tested it yet. So I'm hoping on stream we flip it. All of a sudden it's green. We'll see. You'll see it first. Trying to add little nooks and crannies here to make everything a little bit more dialed. A couple other bookmarks I wanted to tap into, by the way. One, Besant out there talking about how the only way for the U.S. to get out of debt is to grow its way out of debt. And we have been running it hot. We will continue to run it hot. And I think it will continue to surprise people as to how hot we can have it run without it all falling apart, even with higher yields. But I do find it interesting how, like, in order for these companies to continue the AI race and continue spending, yields need to be kept under control to a certain extent. So I continue to think that those games will be played with trying to figure out how to keep long end rates not going too high. which I think is, again, I just think it's bullish in general. Trump, the only reason that communities throughout the US should not want data centers is if they want to end up being backwards and poor. If they want to be successful or rich with far lower taxes and jobs, let data reign. The good news is that there are plenty of other places that want them. If we kill the golden goose, you will only have yourselves to blame. China couldn't be happier with this anti-data center movement. Actually, they can't believe it's happening. I mean, my mom lives in upstate New York, and they just built a Micron facility up there. And at first, I think people were like, ew, a Micron chip plant. That's so bad. And then they were like, oh, jobs. Oh, new restaurants. Oh, it's just going to be in a marsh where like nobody cared about anyway. Oh, our house values are going up. Oh, our electricity costs and stuff like that are going to be a little bit less because they have to pay taxes to like the local area. Oh, this is actually really fucking good. It's so funny. I don't get it because like they just hear data center and they think computer and they think fucking like what's the point of this? You know, it makes our community worse. And I'm like, you're not up in arms when they're building like some manufacturing plant for God knows what. But no, data centers, the big bad data centers. Those are the rich people making more money off our land. Look at the codex growth. ChatGPT codex, 6 million to 25 million people in 7 weeks. Think that's slowing down? Dude, the agentic side of things is just gonna absolutely fucking send. Like I just think the compute demand is like so underrated. I think right now we're still in the early innings of like compute demand. I really do. Obviously, there's going to be efficiency on the like supply side of that demand, you know, but I just think the demand is going to outweigh the supply like for a long time. That's my thoughts on that. Yeah, they're building them everywhere. Like, and I just think there was some super sick post on this about something, and it was basically just it was making it so obvious that like people are just like fighting things to fight things, you know? They don't like change. But in 5 years or 10 years, when all the data centers are built and nobody's life is different, and they all have access to the greatest technology to ever hit their fucking face, um, you know, that's all you really need. Just build them, dude. Can't put them in space yet. Once StarCloud goes live in like 2028 or 2029, SpaceX is launching StarCloud data centers up into the low orbit. Then maybe we could talk. But for now, just build them, man. Whatever, dude. This is a good example. If you don't think Bassett and Warsh are constantly talking to each other, constantly thinking about markets and how everything ripples out into the broader economy, you're crazy, dude. You're fucking crazy. Look at these guys. Those guys move so much money, it's insane. Two most powerful people, man. By the way, something that I was testing out earlier today, and again, maybe in a month or two when we get it kind of approved, I was testing putting order books directly on the screen here so that you'll be able to see broken down order books live moving on screen. And I'll be able to put up whatever market is looking interesting or moving. This could be pretty cool. And if you guys are kind of hanging out and you guys are tuning in, you'll be able to get on the list to kind of get first access to all the software stuff that we're looking at putting out in a little while, to be the first users to have like the ability to kind of learn scalping features with order books, with breakdowns of DOMs like you've never seen it before. It's going to be pretty fucking sick, actually.
And it's very hard for me to engage. You know, there's all these people on X and they're like, I am a physics PhD. And this is impossible. And actually there's a friend who's another investor who actually is a physics PhD, who had many arguments with him. And he's like, I am a PhD and this is impossible. And then he goes to the SpaceX day and, you know, he talks to the SpaceX engineers. He's like, well, I was wrong. And so like, let's say you're an astrophysics PhD, you were brilliant. You're hanging 100 IQ points on me. Have you thought about this for an hour? Have you thought about it for 10 hours? Have you thought about it for 5 hours? Because you have 10,000 of the world's smartest engineers at SpaceX who've thought about this each for hundreds, if not thousands of hours. And the sum of that, working with like very sophisticated, you know, engineering tools, it's a solved problem. And in their minds, it's dramatically simpler and easier.
Was Gavin Baker on orbital data centers being possible or not? Many say it's not. He is saying that all the SpaceX engineers are already in the know that it is very possible. Okay, take a look at this one. Besant, not going to speculate on what the Fed may or may not do, but he does also say traditionally you don't raise rates into a supply shock. It's an interesting comment. Interesting comment. But, you know, Besant's job is to talk this thing down. Worst seems to be talking it up. It's the perfect push pull. Oh. By the way, I don't know how many of you out there play poker, but there's been some really sweet high stakes poker action going on. Kind of like the old days. If you ever watched high stakes poker, it's been really hard to get back to that feeling of what it used to be like on TV when poker was booming. But they're starting to get there. There's still some guys that the problem is so many people have so much money these days that it almost feels as if like it's a joke for them. Like, even though they have 500K, a million on the table, it doesn't feel like it means the same as it meant before. It loses a little bit of that. But that being said, if you like poker, there's been some really great hands in general from this week's Poker Go stream. If you want to see, I could play the biggest pot in the history of high stakes poker. 1 second.
He takes us.
20 G's. Mike's in.
Yeah.
The old 8-5, one of his favorite hands.
Yeah,
Jack 10 suited, a pretty one for Roble.
Andrew Roble is one of the GOATs.
Dame más.
Probably is the GOAT live high stakes poker player.
110,000.
Roble.
110,000. The 3-bet.
He's been through it all.
Sizing him up. Is Was not going quietly?
You know, they've just been talking about, dare I say, even manifesting a big collision between one another. I don't feel like this is posturing, Nick.
No, I don't think it is.
280.
Not a big posture. That's 280 dimes.
Out of the way goes Mike.
You
And
have
back
a
over to
couple
Roble we
stuff,
go.
No idea. You have a stack of pinks or no? Like 9 behind. 1, 2 total. Yeah.
Might all be happening, guys. We knew these two would play a big one. Jack 10 suited for Roble.
Is flat call ever even a thing?
Definitely. They're so deep. It's a deep stack kind of hand, Ollie.
Roble also just so aware that Was is just looking to dunk on him at some point.
There is that duel kind of thing as well. He's in there.
Oh my stars. 600,000 in the middle with plenty left to play for, Nick.
Basically a flip.
You can hear a pin drop out there.
I check.
Was there a dark check delivered here?
Such a
Did I
fun
hear
flop.
that right?
Such a fun flop.
Top pair for Was. Got shot in the backdoor diamonds, working for Roble. That was indeed a dark check, Ollie. 600 bands out there.
Check back from Was. Diamond draw acquired.
We can understand the check from Was. For Roble now with just tons of outs. Does he want to put pressure on something like Ace-King? This is pretty wild stuff, Ollie.
Where do you put Roble's range from Was's vantage point? A man calling 280 pre.
He can have suited connectors. He can have overpairs. We have one more check.
Two.
Oh, and now Was feeling considerably more proud of the nines and firing 200,000.
Oh,
Hello?
He just check jammed. A massive semi-bluff from Roble, and dare I say a credible
what did I
sort
do?
of maneuver.
Boss just asked, what did he do?
What did I do?
Glasses are off.
Am I slow rolling you here?
Such an interesting hand for Wasserson to have the ace of diamonds here.
Am I slow rolling?
I don't think nines with the ace is a slow roll. But he's being a bit cheeky with that comment.
What kind of influence does holding the ace of diamonds have on Wass's decision?
You know something, Ali? That's a great
He
point.
called it, I guess.
Because this isn't nut flush draw across the way.
Damn.
Love the heat of the moment for
Can I
high
see
stakes poker like this.
How much do I have to pay to see one?
You know, it could be nut spades, I suppose. But
All right, whatever.
oh my
God,
goodness!
he finds a call.
Hmm.
You got the best hand.
I'm standing. I might
Twice?
pass out
I
right
got
now.
a lot of outs. Twice is good.
2 times, gentlemen.
You want to go 4 times? No.
2.5 out there.
Oh, yeah.
Largest pot in the history of high stakes poker, happening right now.
4?
18 ounce. No. Maybe just one time.
Huh?
Well, how big is the pot?
The pot is a lot.
All right, 2 times.
All right, 2 times.
Who will be the windshield?
Diamond!
Who will be the bug?
Diamond! Diamonds are forever diamond!
On the free roll goes Was.
You got to
Rick?
call for Rowan here.
Okay, 4 times.
So nice.
You got to
win
call
the
for
first.
Rowan.
It's okay, you're my nemesis. I'm just gonna cry. I'm gonna pour my wine.
Give him a jack. Give him a jack.
Second river coming. Oh my.
Brick. Great
That's
hand.
ace is up.
Just great
Ayers
hand.
Wasserson from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania,
Good call.
has just won the
Nice.
biggest pot in the history
Great
of high
hand for
stakes
both
poker.
both players there. High stakes poker is just the best. I love live poker, especially at casinos with people I don't know. I know everybody loves playing with their friends, but I actually prefer playing with people I don't know. Because with friends, like poker with friends just gets too kind of goofy. Gets too goofy. It's not like, I don't need it to be super serious, but I don't need it to be completely goofy. And with friends, it just always turns into that. The only way to make it not goofy with friends is to up the stakes, but then it could get weird. Like, I don't really love playing friends for serious money. I'd rather just play with somebody I don't know. Because then we can move on our merry way and go to our respective homes and never see each other again. Getting to a point here where I'm starting to watch gold more as an opportunity. I see some capitulatory type of stuff on gold. I'm going to start to look for long entries for sure. Guys, if you got a trade on or a stock, let me know. I want to go look at some other stuff. I want to get a list started for the week on things I'm interested in. So if you guys haven't really traded futures, by the way, there's a trading is waiting. Trading is waiting. Yep, hurry up and wait. What's up, conformism? Given the end of the month, usually settlements and futures could be interesting. If you don't know the settlement schedule, it kind of goes in like a cadence every day, right? So you have European settlement. I always think it's Chicago time. So Chicago time, European settlement. See if I could run through these from 10:27 to 10:30. You then have cocoa settle at 10:48. You then have sugar settle 11:53. Copper settle 11:59, silver settle 12:03, gold settle 12:23, no 12:28, 29. Cattle and livestock 12:59, oil 128 to 130, all the way into equities settle at 2:58 to 3 o'clock every day for eternity. By end of the months, often you'll find a little more volume go through. Sometimes some edge will be available for you as a scalper because people need to push things through in a 1 to 2 minute time period. It's up to you to sit there every day, every week, at the end of every month, and watch for those anomalies. So that's what we'll be doing today as time progresses. Right now it's like 11, so the next settlement would be sugar, but that's on ice. I don't trade ice right now. So basically waiting for like the metals settlements to come up. Metal settles. Definitely a spicy chart here. Now, my inclination again is to fade oil, but check this out. This is the HO chart, like the gas lead chart, going all the way back to like the 08 crisis. I mean, we're threatening like an actual severe breakout, right? I don't think it'll happen. But I have price alerts up here because if it does, I think these will get crazy. And I like trading these, especially the calendars that go out 1, 2, 3, 4 months. Trading HO and RB calendars are super fun, super illiquid, move like crazy. And if you get these things going to all-time highs, I mean, could be fun. RB not as high, HO much higher. XMR is definitely interesting. If you don't know about it, it's another privacy coin. It's been around a long time. But if you like check out how ZEC's been doing, you know, it's effectively playing. It's like been a lag trade. Kind of interesting here. Let's see. Interesting. It's going to be a ratio I would definitely look at more. ZEC's been winning the attention war, but if you have XMR, flip it. That'll be a very interesting narrative that pops up, and people say, wait, am I supposed to own Monero instead? Bitcoin's volatility dropped all the way back. Oh. So I think today's play got so far kind of as expected. End of the month, kind of chilling, a little bit weak. Equities down a little bit, but not much. I think a risk starts to go back on the table tomorrow. I think we have a strong week. It's my guess. Across the board. Current positions I'm in on the scalp side of things. RBOB calendar, wheat, waiting on metals. I'm in a nat gas calendar long. That's pretty much it for the moment. During stream, we added an oil short. We'll keep you updated on that as we progress throughout the week. That's more in the swing bucket for now. And of course, still trenching on the side for fun. Books on futures. Man, no idea. I've never written or read a book on futures, if we're being honest. I just traded. Traded them. Got in there. Yeah, I mean, from like a basic perspective, you understand what they are. They're just a contract between two entities agreeing to pay to buy or sell a commodity or whatever it may be in the future at a specific price, but most people obviously buy it and then sell it before it actually ever comes due. Helps. It's a pricing mechanism, but like, you know, you got to kind of get in there and trade. It's the best way to learn how futures work. It's high leverage, you know, you get a huge notional amount by trading them, but books, no books. I prefer psychology books and mindset and things that are outside of the trading world. I just feel like most trading books are a little too maybe specific. If you go to Global Flows' site, like capitalflowsresearch.com, he has if you go to the free section of his site, let me see if I can find it for you. He has a massive book list. There is his book list. Oh, here you go. Yeah, so go to this site. I'll put it in the chat. And scroll down to book recommendations. He's got all the, I mean, he has read all this stuff. I think one of his favorite books is The Price of Time, you know, the real story of interest. But like for futures specifically, I don't know. But that could give you a good start, I guess. Do I read the COT report? I used to. I used to think that mattered a ton. I think it's like another layer to the bigger story, right? If you have a thesis and you have speculators and commercials or whatever at odds with each other, and you know you think it's going to be like, oh, the smart money's on this side and the retail money's on this side, I want to be over here. I just think that's another like too easy. I think it needs to align with other parts of the story for you, and it might add or take away a conviction to a thesis that you might have, right? But I don't look at it too much anymore. I used to have it all the time. Guess I could go look at the wheat one. Let's see. HRW, wheat, SRW. Let's see here. I copy paste this into Claude and see if it could come up with a cool way to visualize this. Yeah, let's see what Claude can do. I went to the commitment of traders report, took all the wheat information, fed it in there, and said, "Hey, I attached the COT report for the various wheats. Show me an infographic to best understand the current positioning in them. Allow me to tab through them or overlay them if I want." So let's see what it comes up with. We'll do this. Look at a couple more stocks, see if anything is moving, and if not, we'll end it for the day. Let's see here. Here we go. This is what it came up with. So it said that a few things jump out. The divergence is still kind of what we talked about in the like wheat report I did a while back, where you have the mostly shorts built up in Chicago, which is the highly liquid, most traded one, while most are long in KC, which is the more like fundamentally based pricing mechanism with like geopolitical risk and all that. Nothing's really changed in the last week. Swap dealers are near identical. And spring wheat commercials are short 73% of open interest. This is kind of interesting is like 8 of the top shorts hold over half of the open interest. So I would say like nothing super crazy stands out to me, but if there are some like larger players that hold some huge short interest, I guess we would have to see wheat continually print up to see some sort of like, you know, massive change of positioning. Otherwise, I'm sure all of these guys are much more dialed than you might think. And there's all sorts of dynamics at play with the different types of wheats. So, I don't know. No big takeaways there. But yeah, commitment to traders. Like, I know some people watch, like, I did an interview with, can't remember his name. Who's the guy? Who's the guy? Find it here real quick. Oh yeah, Jason Shapiro. Yeah. And you know, I talked to him through all that. Jason Shapiro. It's an interview I did 2 years ago now. It's kind of crazy. And he talked through how he uses all that, you know, news failures, positioning, kind of takes the opposite side. I think that's fine. I think if you have a risk framework built around that, that's like all good. If you want, you could go to my YouTube channel. You could see that 2 years ago I had an interview with him. Throwback back in the day, I was running this little podcast idea. That was fun. But yeah, like, you know, again, you got to find the thing that works for you, that works for him. I don't necessarily love just taking the other side of positioning and stuff. I like to have a little bit more of a unique, cohesive thesis of my own and go from there, you know? Yeah, crowded market report. That's right. I mean, this is the thing. Like, a lot of you guys probably have seen and watched and taken in a lot of these different peoples that have these channels and these things. And I've gone through that whole gambit as well. And in the end, I always come back to like, I can take a little bit from all these guys, but I need to find my own sauce. I can't just try to become one of these dudes. I'm never going to fit what they fit. I need to find my own thing. What's my own trading archetype? What's my own risk tolerance? What's my own time horizon? What are the assets I really enjoy? What are the time horizons that I think are best for me? What do I pay attention to? Where are my interests? That's how I gather my strategy. It should be how you gather your strategy too. You can watch Jason. You can watch whoever. You can watch a KOL. You can watch a macro guy. Pull from everywhere. Create your own theses, you know? All right, guys, why don't we kill it for here? We'll come back tomorrow. I think it's the first of the month. People are locking back in. It's going to be fun. There's going to be some really awesome trades that come. And I plan on, you know, for the next few months, having some big trades come on stream. And hopefully I'm going to be taking some on stream and you'll be able to live and die by the sword with me. And I'm always interested in what you guys are looking at out there. I think it's all gravy. We're all going to do great. So with that being said, talk to you guys later. Good luck. Stay safe. Keep your seat